Welcome back. Now, as you know, I love meeting brilliant business people, and my next guest is one of them. Rachael Flanagan started her company with just 20 quid when she was 18, and now she employs over 300 people, and last year had made more than £4 million, which is not bad for someone who failed her A-level in business studies. But, Rachael, just proves it's not all about qualifications when it comes to business, is it?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so tell me your story then. How did you get started?
OK, so, well, I was 18. I was sitting my business A-levels. My mum had a cleaner at the time, and I was coming back and forth, and my mum started to, not be happy with the cleaner. She was leaving early, wasn't happy with the standard. So I thought, well, I'll do that for a bit of extra money.
Yeah.
Started to do that, and then it made me realise how many other families out there need that support. And that's where the idea came from.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I was 18.
So you started out on your own to begin with then? So you were doing your mum's house, and then did you just go and start doing other people's houses?
Yeah, so I was sitting my business A-levels. I had this, idea that I could start this as a business. So I did think, back then, I'm going to really run this as a business, but I didn't know how. Started cleaning for my mum's house, then my auntie's house, then my grand's house. And then I finally took the leap then, spent £20 on black and white little flyers back then, because that's all the money that I had. And me and my friends in the summer holidays would just go out flyering all the, 3, 4, 5-bedroom homes and stuff. And that's how the business started.
And so at what point did it go then from you doing it yourself to then employing people? Because that's a big step up, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's just so scary. There's always steps in business, and every step is really scary. And that was probably my first major one, was how on earth do I even employ someone? So I was cleaning about 60 hours a week then.
Wow.
I would do all the quoting in the evenings. I'd get up at 4 a.m. I literally was grafting. I'd do the bookkeeping on a Saturday and then go back out and do big spring cleans and things. And I knew I needed to stop doing that. So then I employed somebody. They used to work for my dad because he used to run a catering business. So I took her on, and I'd work side by side with her, and then that's how I started to train people and then build my business that way.
Yeah, and then now to get to the point where, how old are you now, 34?
I'm 34 now, yeah.
And you've got 300 staff.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that been like to get there?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Just a major journey. Behind the scenes in business, you've got to sacrifice, you've got to get up really early. People don't see, all of that, real graft that you've got to do. But I think, there's been lots and lots of moments for me. When I was 21, I won the UK Young Entrepreneur Awards in Claridge's, and that was a major moment for me to go, wow, you can really believe in yourself as a businesswoman, because being young in business also, did kind of affect me. So I needed to really, really believe in myself. And then I just had different moments then where I had to put systems into place. I had to learn how to be a businesswoman.
Yeah.
And I started hanging around with business people, interviewed them, would just rock up to their offices and ask them to help me.
Yeah.
And that's how I did it. And I still do that now.
Yeah. What was the hardest thing then?
Oof, gosh. I mean, there's always moments, isn't there, in any journey. I've been doing this now for 16 years. So the hardest, I think, literally starting something from nothing is exceptionally hard.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the hardest, and then keeping that alive and feeding it and growing it. Now this year will be a £5 million business.
Wow.
We've got 340 people that work for us in commercial cleaning in the company. But another hard point, it was also the cash flow in that journey as well. How do how do you keep the cash in the business, how do you grow to the next stages, keeping investment in as well, and then building your team. And there's different teams of how much you can afford, I suppose, at the time in your business as well.
And what have there been the highlights for you? You mentioned winning the Entrepreneur Award when you were 21, but you've had loads since then, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been, like, we're just on a mission to change the perception of the cleaning industry. Yeah. I'm really, really passionate about that personally as well. But major highlights, being invited to Downing Street. We went to the NATO summit and met, you know, like the world leaders. Seeing Barack Obama and speaking to him was pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah. And just like being in those places where you think at the time, oh, how am I even here? But then again, that gives you more belief as well to keep pushing. Because
you're there, because you're a really successful businesswoman, and so you deserve to be there.
Thank you.
It's interesting what you say about the cleaning industry, because people can be quite down on it, can't they? And say, oh, why would you want to do that as a job? What would you say to those people?
So the cleaning industry is massively growing. It's, you know, COVID has really highlighted that, hasn't it, of how important cleaning and sanitisation is. So the cleaning world it's a perfect opportunity if you want a lifestyle role. It might be 20 hours a week, but then it's a perfect opportunity if you actually want a career. Like, I've got managers that work for me that have been cleaners and now they're running multi-million-pound accounts and stuff for us. And it's a growing industry. It's changing. There's so much innovation. It's exciting to be part of it.
Yeah. And what would your advice be for people who are, you know, watching you thinking, God, I'd love to run my own business? And what would you say?
Oh, gosh. I think just the more you work on yourself, the more you hang around with people who have got a really open, positive mindset, and developing yourself as well. And that might not be in the classroom, that might be, you know, listening to podcasts, being in the right rooms with people. Yeah. But I think, like, that is so, so important. And having a go. Like, we're now, aren't we? It's so... you know, we're perfectionists now, aren't we? Because social media and everything like that. But actually, like, back then, Rachael, the 18-year-old, just had a go, and don't be afraid to fail. Yeah, it's amazing advice. Rachael, thank you so much for coming in. Put your hands together for Rachael Flanagan. Thank you. Thank you. You'll probably be quite judgy about some of the cleaning in our studio. I apologise in advance. Time now for a sneaky peek at what we've got in store for you tomorrow with Kids TV presenter Kevin Douala. Let's take a look.
Tomorrow on Steph's Packed Lunch. Are you concerned your kids aren't playing outside enough? With playgrounds disappearing across the country, Kevin Douala will be asking why we need our playgrounds more than ever.
Just watching that young girl there,